Okay. Lights come up on the living room. There is a couch center, a TV set on an upstage corner, an armchair opposite the TV, and a low coffee table amidst the furniture. The style of the furniture is distinctly old-fashioned. These things have been here for a long, long time. There is a lot of junk around, mostly magazines and newspapers and boxes. There is a bag of chocolates and several pill bottles, a glass of water on the coffee table. Bethany is sitting in an armchair, a laptop on her lap, staring intently at the screen. Granny is lying on the couch. She is quite old and is unsettling near to the end of her days. She lies quietly for a moment, watching the TV. The TV is on quite loud. After a few seconds, she stirs as if attempting to rise, but falls back. Bethany does not notice.
Anthony,
Are you all right?
no, I'm not all right. Not in the least.
Do you need something?
Chocolate.
All righty.
Oh, that's
So
good
then
chocolate.
I'll say, she gets up and opens a bag of chocolates. She removes one, then places it gently into Granny's mouth. This done, Bethany sits on the armchair and returns to her computer. Granny eats the chocolate and continues watching TV.
That's good chocolate.
Good.
What are you doing over there?
Reading.
What are you reading?
Oh, just something I wrote. You wouldn't be interested.
You like to write?
Yes.
I never cared for writing fiction anyway. It's a waste of time.
I know. That's why I said you wouldn't be interested.
I used to write quite a bit, actually, just not fiction. I write real things. I wrote some really very good articles,
I know.
but it wasn't fiction. I can tell you that. I did my own research. Everything I wrote was true. You can count on that. I don't do anything half well. Writing fiction is silly. I always thought so. No research, no effort. You just write whatever comes into your head. Why would anybody be interested in that? Academic writing is real writing. But you don't know anything about that, do you? You're not intellectual.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't always an intellectual myself. I didn't think I'd be an academic. It didn't come easily for me. I had to work for it. But, you know, it was what Daddy wanted. He was powerful. You did what he wanted you to do. Everyone did. He always said, I was just like him. You're just as mean as your daddy. That's what he used to say to me. He was so proud of that, proud of me. You're not mean, are you, Bethany?
I guess not.
No, I've never thought so. You don't take after him like I do. Neither does your mother. You're both such soft little things, like my brother. Gentle. Daddy would have shook that out of you. My brother had to leave home when he was 16, you know.
I know.
Do you remember my brother, Douglas?
Yep.
He died almost 12 years ago. I still can't believe it. We were always so close. And I miss him terribly, you know. I know. He couldn't stand Daddy. You never heard such fighting. Fit to shake the house down, roaring at each other. Just roaring. I think Daddy liked it, but Douglas couldn't take the fighting. He was a gentle thing. He had to get out and away, not very far, of course. He stayed in San Marcos, went to military school, not like me. I never thought I'd come up here and raise a family of Yankee girls. Never in a million years, but I did. I never wanted to live here. That was worth. He came here to Norwich and bought the house without even asking me. I never saw this house until we moved in. He was a stubborn man. Oh, he made me angry. Do you remember Ellsworth?
Granny, of course, I remember Granddad. He only died 5 years ago.
Is that all? I thought it was longer. I thought you were a little thing.
I was 18.
Well, you didn't know him. He wasn't at all himself in the last 10 years.
That's true.
You don't actually remember who he was. He was such an impressive man. That's what I noticed the first time I saw him. He was so distinguished. Oh, the women pursued him. He looked so good in a suit. He would walk into a room and all the women would giggle and flutter their eyelashes. Don't misunderstand me. He wasn't a handsome man. He just looked like the sort of man who knew what he was about. He looked important. You wouldn't understand.
I understand. I remember what he looked like.
No, you don't understand. You didn't know him when he was young. You took one look at him and you thought, now there's a young man who's going to be somebody. But he didn't have any ambition, you know?
He was a social worker.
A good one. He helped people. He was passionate about helping people. But he never went anywhere, never made a name for himself. I didn't expect that.
Well, you had enough ambition for the both of you.
Well, that's certainly true. Women didn't teach college in the 40s, you know. I was practically the only one. And sociology was still new. I was in on the ground floor. I was a rarity. I think I got my first teaching position as a curiosity. Let's hire the woman who teaches sociology. Not really. I think Daddy made them hire me. Like, he could do that sort of thing. He wanted to make sure I was successful, that I wouldn't ever need to depend on anyone for anything. Bethany, get me the water.
Bethany picks up a glass of water and puts it to Granny's lips. Granny sips it feebly.
Oh, put it down.
Bethany puts it down and goes back to her computer.
I never drank water, not once in my life. Water isn't a beverage.
Water is the only thing you should drink.
A good strong scotch would help me a lot more than all those pills they've got me on. Oh, Bethany, did I take my pills?
Morning and afternoon.
I don't think I took them. Give me my pills.
You took them an hour ago. You don't have to take any more pills until 6.
Which ones did I take?
All of them, Granny.
How do you know?
Because we do this every day. Mommy puts all the pills in your box in the morning in order, and all the pills for the morning and the afternoon are gone.
Well, how do you know you didn't just lose them?
Because I remember giving them to you.
I don't remember that.
You never do. You just have to get used to the fact that you forget things like that.
How am I supposed to get used to that? The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. How can anyone just accept that they've done something they don't remember doing? I've always had a perfect memory. A mind like a steel trap. That's what Daddy said. He used to say that about me. A mind like a steel trap. It never let anything go. And now you're telling me I'm supposed to just trust you when you tell me I've done something I definitely don't remember doing?
Well, I'm sorry you forgot, Granny, but I promise you I gave you your pills. You didn't want to take them and it took a long time.
I suppose I'm far too much trouble for you. Nobody wants to spend all their time taking care of an old woman. I wish you didn't have to do that.
It's fine, Granny.
You shouldn't have to take so much trouble just for me. Oh, it's just awful. I wish you wouldn't. I hate needling people and needing people. You wouldn't understand. I'm strong. I've always been strong. I didn't need anyone to take care of me.
We all need someone eventually.
Not me, and not Daddy.
He didn't live as long as you have. He died of a heart attack when he was 68. You're lucky to have lived so long.
I don't feel lucky. I should have died before I became so useless.
You aren't useless. You teach me all kinds of things.
What good will that do? No. I used to be truly useful. I was strong and full of purpose. I worked every day to improve the world. I was important. You wouldn't understand.
I know. How's your breathing? Do you need your inhaler?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, good.
Marco. 1935, a park in San Marcos, Texas. Route 16, sits center, wearing graduation robes and a motorcycle. He is holding a diploma. After a moment, Buck enters. He is dressed plainly.
Buck,
There you are, Miss Valedictorian. I was looking for you.
run to each other and embrace. I can hardly believe I'm a high school graduate. I don't feel any different at all.
My father says no one ever feels the age they are. Maybe it's the same with credentials.
So when I get my doctorate, I'll still feel the same?
Are you still going on about that? Do you really want to go right back to school now that you just got out?
I'm good at school. Besides, Daddy says...
You always do what your daddy says?
You know I don't.
You sure are a pretty thing. You know that?
You're
sorry.
lying still.
My
Yeah,
line is-
that's fine. I know it's cold.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
What do you mean I know it's, Ruth, honey, I've been thinking. You know you've been going on about getting your PhD, but what about your MRS?
My what?
Girls only go away to college to meet a man anyway, right? You've already met one.
You're right. I have already met one. So there'll be nothing to distract me from my studies.
All right, all right. You're a determined little lady, I'll give you that. But I want to tell you something I need to. Fact is, Ruth, I'm going away.
Where are you going?
Nebraska.
What possible reason could you have to go there?
Well, I need work. There's no work here for an engineer, but my uncle has a business out there and he's offered me a job. It's not much, but it's a start. I have ambition and I know I can make a good life if I have a good woman by my side. Those are the only two things in the world a man needs, you know. Ambition and a wife.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I want to get married. No, I'm sorry. I'm doing this all wrong. Ruth, will you marry me?
What?
Well, what is it? Yes or no?
I'm already enrolled at the University of Texas next semester. I can't go to Nebraska with you.
Sure you can.
What's the hurry anyway? I'm only 16. I don't know if I'm ready to be a wife.
Of course you are. My mother got married when she was 17.
That was she. This is me. I want to go to college. I want to be somebody.
Ruth, that's all just talk. You're already somebody. You were born somebody.
That's not what I meant.
I know what you meant. Listen to what I mean. You're already the most incredible, brilliant, biting, tough as nails, sweetest woman I've ever met. And we love each other. How many people get to be with the person they love, huh?
Not many.
That's right. Most people in this world, they just march along, drudging their lives away. They just work until they get too old and then they die. But we're different. We're strong and wild, and we've got a real chance to be happy. Don't I make you happy?
Of course.
And you make me happy. Listen, I don't want to drag you down. You've got ambition, and I know that. If you want to go to college, then go. Just go to college in Nebraska. We already know we want to be together, so why wait? We can be happy together, really happy. No one could wish for more than that. We can have ourselves a really nice life. I'll have a good job. We'll have children. You can read and learn whatever you want to learn. Doesn't that sound nice?
But I want to go to the University of Texas.
Why? What difference does it make?
Well, it's a good school. And Austin's a great city. And I don't know any good schools in Nebraska. It's a backwoods place.
Ruth, do you love me?
Yes, of course. I've told you 1,000 times.
Then marry me, please. I know I'm not much, but I love you like crazy. Listen, you might not go to college and get your doctorate. Oh, you might go to college and get your doctorate. You might become a famous scholar, and you might not. None of this is certain. But me, I'm for sure. I'm here, and I want you. I need you. I'd marry you right this second. I just want to spend the rest of my life loving you. Please.
Oh, Buck,
Yes?
go to Nebraska.
What?
Go to Nebraska and come back at Christmas. I'll go to Austin and I'll come back at Christmas. We'll meet right here in December, all right?
Come on.
I know you don't understand, but if you really love me, you have to let me try it. I need to try it. I need to see if I can make it on my own, just once. Go to Nebraska. I'll do my first semester. When we come home at Christmas, I'll give you my answer.
I can't wait till Christmas.
Please? I love you, but I need this. You don't understand. You don't have to understand. You just have to trust me. I promise I won't meet anyone else. We'll write each other all the time. The time will pass before you know it, and at Christmas I'll answer your proposal. Please?
This isn't how I thought this would go.
Isn't that why you love me?
Fine. I'll see you at Christmas.
Okay.
Scene 3, Granny's living room, 2011.
Bethany,
Hmm?
you're not the sort of daughter I ever thought I'd have.
And your granddaughter.
Oh, I know that. What difference does it make? You're still my daughter. You're a Yankee.
Yes, I know.
I never thought I'd have a Yankee for a daughter.
Sorry.
It was Ellsworth who wanted to live in the North. In those days, a woman moved for her husband's job.
Most women didn't have jobs of their own. You did.
Don't you think I know? Didn't change anything. We knew how to be women, even if we had jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you have a boyfriend? Are you a lesbian?
Granny, I've told you 100 times I'm not gay.
You can tell me.
I taught.
But that's me.
Well,
I taught a class on sexual deviance. Well, I did. Most of my students didn't know anything about homosexuals. I was the first person to teach a class, set that record straight, gave people real information, taught them homosexuals are perfectly normal people who are simply born with an attraction to people of the same sex. Nothing unsavory or wrong about it,
Mhm.
just nature.
Mhm.
I heard they can get married,
Not everywhere.
but here in Connecticut they can, right?
Yeah.
Good. Silliest thing I've ever heard. Nobody else's business who you want to marry. Don't you agree?
Of course.
Are you going to marry that girlfriend of yours? Liz, is it?
No, I'm not gay and she's not my girlfriend. We're just good friends.
You could tell me.
I know, but there's nothing to tell.
Well, then why haven't you found a young man? In my day, you just found someone. You people are too picky. You're never going to find a perfect man, Bethany. Lord knows Ellsworth wasn't perfect. He carried on with other women when I was abroad, you know.
Yes, I know. That must have been hard for you.
I don't want your sympathy. I'm making a point. People aren't perfect. You just pick one, take your chances. He doesn't have to be the love of your life. In fact, it's better if he isn't. If you love him too much, you'll give him all of your power. That's the mistake women have been making for generations. They marry the love of their life, and then they don't have a life.
Granny, do you want to tell me about Buck?
Who?
Buck Mills, the boy you dated before you met Granddad.
No, I don't want to tell you about him. I don't live in the past, Bethany. That's why I never cared for history classes. You're a history major, aren't you? History is boring. I always said so. Live in the present. You can't do anything about the past.
My mother told me you loved him.
Love too.
Buck?
We were kids. We didn't know what love was. I was with Ellsworth for 60 years. I don't want to talk about Buck. Why would you bring that up anyway? It's none of your business. Bethany,
Yes, Granny, I'm here. I'm here.
oh, I think,
What is it? Are you all right?
no, I'm dying.
No.
Oh. Will you take care of everything?
Everything?
The cat, Bethany. Will you take care of my cat?
Yes, of course.
And the money?
Yes, I'll take good care of it, Granny. You need to rest.
Daddy entrusted me with it. It isn't mine, and it isn't yours. The money rolls forward, Bethany. Keep rolling forward.
Yes, I know. Yes, let me get your,
And the children. Will you take care of the children?
the children. There aren't any.
Will you take care of them? Guide them? And when they don't know what is right, will you tell them? Please, they don't always know.
Yes, I'll take care of the children. I promise.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel much better.
Oh, good.
Before those parents in the drawing room saying, what goes Christmas 1935? Daddy and mother are sitting on the couch. Ruth is staring out the window.
Ruth, won't you come sit with us? You've hardly told us anything about your first semester.
There's plenty of time for that later.
There's plenty of time for that. Whoops, I'm sorry. He isn't coming.
Of course he is. He said he'd come on Christmas, and it's Christmas, and he's coming.
What are you gonna say to him?
I'll figure it out when I see him. I'll know what I want when I see him.
How did you find the dean? He's a good old boy. We're pals from way back. He is very eager to have you as a student, you know. Are you listening to me?
Douglas, for heaven's sakes, can't you calm down? Can't you see she doesn't care about anything that you're saying?
Can't you see that he isn't coming? It's nearly supper time, for goodness sake.
Of course he's coming. He's got to come, and I've got to tell him that I'll marry him.
I can't stand one more minute of this.
Ruth, honey, you're too young to get married. You should focus on your education. Not many girls have the opportunity that you have.
I know that. I'm not marrying him tomorrow, am I? I'll graduate. That's what you care about, isn't it?
You should be angry at Buck, dear, not me.
I'm angry at Daddy
Why?
because he. Father, I know it's mad, but suppose he.
Suppose he what?
I think Buck would have come, don't you? Wouldn't he come if Daddy hadn't?
Just what do you think Daddy did?
What he always does. Paid him to stay away. That's what Daddy does whenever he wants something. He just gives somebody money and it happens. Like that other girl in high school. Her grades were better than mine. She should have been valedictorian. But Daddy got on the Board of Education and he pulled some strings and
Please don't think that. Not about your father. You earned it. You worked so hard and you don't know her grades were better than yours. You were neck and neck. You cannot be sure.
I am. I know.
You don't understand. You don't understand what he does for you. What we both do for you, Ruth, darling. You have a better life than I ever could. Things are different now. You don't have to just be someone's wife. You can achieve success on your own. Isn't that splendid? You don't have to throw that away for some little boy from Forks Creek, Texas. You haven't even seen a scrap of the world outside yet.
But I love him.
But you don't know anything about love. You're a child.
I don't know about love. Are you anyway? Do you think you have to be old to understand love? I tell you, I love him and I will always love him.
Ruth, you found this great love of yours awfully quickly. Couldn't you find it again?
No, Mother. I can have it all. I'll have an important career and a husband, and I want that husband to be Buck.
I'm sorry, but you can't have it all. And you can't have him.
Yes, of course I can. We love each other.
Ruth, he got married. I saw his mother last week and she.
No.
We didn't know how to tell you. You were taking your final exams. We just thought we should wait.
No, you're lying.
I've never lied to you. I'm telling you, sweetheart, Buck got married in November to a girl that he met out in Nebraska. His mother went to the wedding. She didn't even know that he had asked you to marry him last June.
You're lying. He wouldn't. He loved me.
He did, sweetheart. I have a wedding announcement from the paper. Look for yourself.
I see. College is great fun. And don't you worry, I'm a fantastic academic. I'll make you and Daddy really proud.
I know you will.
Inspired, Granny's living room, 2011. Things are just as they are, always are.
Feel sometimes that I wasted my life.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't listening to me.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Why should I tell you? You don't even care about me. I hardly ever see you, and when I do, you're staring at that little television.
It's a computer.
I don't care. I don't care about you or anything you and your generation do. Why should I? Oh, Bethany, I've wasted my life.
No, you haven't.
Don't talk to me as if like you know anything about me. You know nothing. You can't understand what I've been through.
I really wish you wouldn't.
Well, I wish you wouldn't be so heartless. You don't give a damn about me. Not like your cousin Branson. Branson understands me. He takes after me and Daddy. If he were here, I could have a conversation worth having. Not have to look down, talk down to him.
Granny, I wish you wouldn't insult me. I don't think you understand me either. You aren't fair to me.
Oh, I'm not fair to you. Ha!
No, you aren't. I'm here with you for 8 hours every Monday and Wednesday. And every single time I'm here, you insult me. You say I'm never here. You say I don't care about you. But think about it. If I didn't care about you, would I be here every week? And if you are really so concerned about my intellectual pursuits, maybe you should ask me about something other than my sex life. Maybe you should read something that I've written just once. Maybe, just maybe, you could consider the possibility that there's more than one way to be an intellectual. And while you're on and on about Branson and how wonderful he is and how he understands you, maybe you should ask yourself exactly where he is all the time. You know you depend on me. I'm here for you. Where's Branson?
Oh, you know Branson. He has a complicated life and interesting things to do. And he's in college,
I'm in college too.
community college.
Randy, I'm going to community college part-time, partly because I care about you. I want to be there for you.
Well, I certainly didn't ask you to do it. I can take care of myself, you know. When I was your age, I cared about my education. I made it a priority. I didn't look for excuses to put it off. Other people tried to distract me, but I wouldn't let them. Why, boys even wanted to marry me. And you know what I told them? No, I won't marry you. My education comes first. You don't focus on what's important. You don't have a spine.
You know what? Screw this. I'm going home.
Bethany, I'm thirsty.
Of course you're thirsty. You've barely touched the glass since your coffee this morning.
I hate water. Do I have to?
Well, you're not allowed to drink scotch anymore, so water is what you get. Here it is. It's time for your afternoon medication.
Bethany takes a few pebbles from a plastic pill organizer and gives them to Granny. Granny takes them grudgingly. When she is finished, Bethany puts the glass down on the table and sits back in her usual chair.
Why do you think you wasted your life?
You don't care. On Monday, you asked me about Buck. I've been thinking about him today. Look, I found a picture of us together. That was taken in Vancouver. My mother took me there for a vacation before my senior year of high school. And he joined us by surprise.
You look very happy.
I was happier than I dreamed possible. I thought I'd be with him forever.
Why wouldn't you?
I wanted to go to college in Austin. He got a job in Nebraska. He met someone else out there. I heard they moved to California. And then they got divorced in the 60s.
They divorced? Well, maybe you could see him again. Where is he now?
Oh, he's dead. He died just around the time your older brother was born. There aren't any second chances, Bethany. Look at me in that photograph. I didn't know I'd never be that happy again. I found love so quickly, so young. I didn't realize it was rare. I had to be someone, you see. I couldn't just marry a man because I loved him like you can. You're the sort of woman who could be a happy housewife. I didn't have that option. I had too much going on in my mind. It was always milling and ginning. I needed to make a difference in the world. You wouldn't understand.
Uh-huh. Do you need anything to drink?
No, I'm
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
I don't need anything. I'm fine.
Campus of University of Texas, spring 1939, Ellsworth enters, strolling through the campus. Ruth enters after him and chases him down.
Excuse me,
Oh, Miss Campbell, good morning.
I take exception to your assertion in class yesterday that the duty of the American public school system is to teach loyalty and good citizenship. How could that possibly be our most important goal when there are children, overwhelmingly poor, colored, or otherwise disenfranchised children who aren't even properly taught to read? Children who come to school barefoot, hungry, exhausted from overwork. What good will loyalty do to them? Indeed, what motivation should they even have to be good citizens in a country that gives them no thought or care?
Miss Campbell, it's a little early for me to be coherent when I'm being so vehemently attacked. However, you're making some valid points. Consider this. A good education is manifold, true, but what good do we do a child who learns to read but learns no morality? Are we to feed the body to starve the soul?
I wish you wouldn't obscure fact with ideals. Morality is not the school's purview. Besides, there are many shades of morality, depending on one's socioeconomic status and culture. An educator's job should be to give his students the tools for academic success and independent discovery in order that they should find their own agency. It should not be our goal to subject them to cultural indoctrination.
Perhaps your definition of good citizenship differs from mine.
Perhaps it does, which only strengthens my argument. If you and I can have different definitions of good citizenship, both of us native-born, affluent, white Americans, then how different must those definitions be for people who come from different backgrounds? How could we presume to know what good citizenship is to the Negro, the Indian, the Irish immigrant? And who are we to say that our own definitions are superior to theirs?
He speaks a weighty truth, friend. I agree with you, and I believe you judge me too harshly. My definition of good citizenship is broad and accessible. I mean only that children need to be taught respect for themselves and for others, and that educators are responsible for bringing forth and demonstrating such respect in our dealings with children. That includes sensitivity to diverse cultures and creeds, and the firm understanding that humans from any and all ethnicities, societies, and religions can be Americans. All that is required is a mutual respect for each other and for themselves.
The trouble is that so many will take a less nuanced stance on your statement and use it to excuse all manner of exclusive practices in order to dominate and oppress anyone who does not conform to an Anglo-Saxon Protestant expectation.
There are many fools in this world, true. It would take an exceptional educator indeed to abolish all ignorance.
Does that mean we shouldn't even try?
Miss Campbell, can I presume that you plan to major in sociology?
I do.
That is my major as well.
Really? Do you want to teach?
No, I intend to write books, actually. Research is my specialty.
Is that so? You can call me Ruth, by the way. I don't believe I ever caught your name.
I'm Ellsworth Ogden.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Now, don't for a minute think that we're finished with our argument.
Of course not. It's shaping up to be a good one. Wouldn't want to miss the rest of it.
Very well. Shall we continue to argue over coffee?
I think we will enjoy arguing with each other.
Squared away.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Here, we'll pull up pictures. Yeah,
I guess.
we can do this like that. So that's two separate scenes, right?
Granny's living room, 2011, but something is different. Bethany and Granny are in their usual places, but Ruth, Daddy, and Ellsworth are also there. Ruth and Ellsworth are standing, looking nervous, and Daddy is sitting in an armchair reading a book. The people from two different time periods ignore each other.
Daddy,
Anthony,
there's someone I'd like you to meet.
did I take my pills?
What's that, sweetheart?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You never listened to me.
Daddy, I'd like you to meet Ellsworth Ogden.
Daddy stands and stares at Ellsworth.
I was just distracted. You asked about your pills? You took your afternoon medication half an hour ago.
Ellsworth Ogden? What is he, a colonial Puritan?
I don't remember taking.
Yeah, come here, boy, let me have a look at you.
Bethany, I feel dreadful.
I'm a Quaker, not a Puritan, but I'm fairly colonial.
What do you mean?
I can care less how a man prays. And what man does that, it's what a man does that defines him. How to make your money.
Oh,
I'm a student at the moment, but I've got my eye on a position in Pennsylvania doing social work.
Take that as a warning, Ruth. Frank is always going back to Pennsylvania. I hope you have a good life there, young man. It was nice meeting you.
Daddy, I'm going with him.
Like you said.
I mean, I'm going to Pennsylvania too. We're going together. He's got a job and I'm going to get my master's degree at Bryn Mawr.
It wasn't my best work, but I'm still proud of it.
Are you certain?
What are you talking about?
Well, I know what I'm doing, Daddy. I'm not a child. I can make my own decisions.
It's not what I meant. Can't you see that? I made all the wrong decisions. The green is too bright. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but it was an honest effort.
Are you painting?
We intend to marry once she graduates. Please don't worry, my family lives in Texas too. We'll visit frequently.
Can't you see it? It's a terrible mess, all of it. But it's beautiful anyway. Don't you think so?
Oh, yes.
You won't make much money at social work.
He did have a striking profile. I always thought so. He really should have amounted to more.
Are you talking about Granddad?
I don't expect I'll make much money, Douglas. I'm interested in working to improve the lives of unfortunate people.
My name is Mr. Campbell to you, young man.
I'm talking about Ellsworth. Oh, you don't know him.
Let me give you a little lesson. A real man stays where he is and improves his community. You make yourself a lot of money, and then you can give it to all the unfortunate people you like. Start a business and give people jobs. Or you can run for office. People respect a man with money. You won't make a lick of difference in this world if you don't have clout. And the first step toward clout is money.
I knew Granddad, I keep telling you.
Ellsworth
has great
potential.
We'll
Will
change
change
the
the
world.
world.
We'll see about that.
Daddy,
Granny, you've lost me.
Maybe if you believed in him the way you believed in me, or maybe you'd let me marry Buck. Things would have turned out this way. Wouldn't have turned out this way. Yes, I know what you did, Daddy.
Granny?
Buck loved me. But you knew he needed money for his little brothers. The poor boys, not even any shoes. You knew. You always were one for charity, weren't you, Daddy? A donation to the school board in your daughter's valedictorian. Really, please. A donation to the University of Texas and your daughter's enrolled in. A donation to Buck and he marries some hick. Nobody from Nebraska. But was that the end of it? Everything else I did, that was the end of it. Everything else I did on my own, damn it. Really? I got as far away from you as I could. Somewhere where no one had ever heard of you. You think a bunch of Quakers and Yankees care about Douglas Campbell and his money?
What? What are you saying?
You know exactly what I'm saying, Daddy.
No, Granny, I'm not your father. It's me, Bethany.
Bethany? Who the hell is Bethany?
Your granddaughter.
I don't have a... Bethany?
Yes, Granny, it's me.
Bethany, do you remember those Easter cakes when you were about 5 or so?
Granny, did you say that your father paid Buck to marry someone else?
They were so adorable, weren't they? Little bunny cakes with pink and blue ears. One cake for the 3 boys and one cake for you. The lonely little petunia in an onion patch.
Granny, listen to me. Did Pop give money to Buck so he wouldn't marry him?
God knows. I don't know. Sometimes I think, yeah, but he was a good man. Did I ever tell you the story about the homeless man? The one your great-grandfather gave a ride to?
Yes, I know this story.
Daddy gave him a ride, and while they were driving along, he gave the man $25 in 1930. $25. And that man started to cry, and he told Daddy, "Sir, I was planning on robbing you, but I'm not desperate. But you've been so generous. You saved my life and my soul."
It's a good story.
He was always doing things like that. I don't really think he paid Buck off. There's no reason to think that he did. I just always had this feeling. I just wasn't sure. I thought Buck loved me, and I couldn't ever figure out why he didn't wait. Daddy was a good man, but he had to have his way. So I just can't ever be sure.
If he was a good person, he wouldn't do things like that.
Oh, you don't understand. I wouldn't expect you to. There isn't one easy recipe for goodness. You don't just do good things and suddenly you're a good person. Easy as pie. Good people are still scared, Bethany. They're still sad and angry and full of doubts, and they don't always do the right thing, but they try. That's what makes you a good person. Bad people, they're scared and angry, but that's it. That's all there is. No silver linings, no hope, no struggle, just the bad. I think we spoiled you. You got that entire bunny cake to yourself just because you were a girl.
What? Are you talking about those Easter cakes again? From 20 years ago?
Of course I am. You never listened to me.
You could have just gotten the one cake with the blue in it. I didn't care if they were blue or pink.
Pink is a girl's color, Bethany. I couldn't just get you a blue cake. We had 3 boys, then you just had to be different, didn't you?
I didn't choose to be different.
Lieutenant is wearing a blue suit and holding a small bouquet. Ellsworth is wearing an army dress uniform. They walk towards each other slowly with great ceremony.
I didn't choose to be different.
Well, neither did I. That's something Mother and Daddy never understood. We were going to change the world, Bethany. You wouldn't understand. It was the war. It made everything seem, I don't know, crucial. Every little thing we did seemed crucial. It wasn't that we wanted war. We were Quakers. But you don't choose these things. They just happen.
Ruth and Ellsworth meet in the middle and stand face to face, rigid and formal.
In the presence of God and these our friends, I, Ellsworth, take thee, Ruth, to be my wife, promising with divine assistance to be unto thee a loving and faithful husband, so long as we both shall live.
Ellsworth was drafted. What if he never came back? We didn't have any time to be cautious and prudent. The world was going up in flames.
In the presence of God and these our friends, I, Ruth, take thee, Ellsworth, to be my husband, promising with divine assistance to be unto thee a loving and faithful wife, so long as we both shall live.
Blackout. In the back one.
Does anyone need an intermission? No? I don't mind blasting. You do? Oh,
I'll be right back.
all right.
Randy's living room.
Yeah, I think yeah. All right, let's get started on Act 2.
Randy's living room, 2011. Ruth is sitting up on the couch and Bethany is beside her holding an inhaler.
Yeah.
Granny is having trouble breathing.
Oh, Granny, it's okay. You need to breathe all the way out, okay? All the way out. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Just breathe all the way out. You need to get all the air out of your lungs, remember? Out, out, all the way out. Okay, ready? Now breathe in all the way, deep breath. Hold it. 10 seconds, okay? Hold it. No, no. Okay, yes, hold it. Okay, go ahead. Ready, breathe. You can breathe now.
Bethany,
Yes,
Bethany, I've been,
yes, Granny, are you all right?
I've been,
Is something wrong?
will you be quiet and let me talk? I've been reading a very good book. It's about modern race relations in America. Excellent research has been done in the past 5 years. I haven't been keeping up with it since Ellsworth died.
Oh, you're reading a book.
As they talk, Ruth enters carrying a clipboard, crosses from stage left to stage right. Mine's knocking on a door.
Yes, didn't I say that? Listen to me, for heaven's sake. For a while after my retirement, I thought sociology was going down the drain. I didn't see any worthwhile research for nearly a decade. But good work is being done now. They've made strides.
I'm glad to hear that.
Hello, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I'm a master's candidate at Bryn Mawr, and I'm conducting a survey on the modern working family. May I ask you a few questions?
Do you want to tell me about it? The book, I mean?
How many people are in your household?
I told you, it's about American race relations.
Mm-hmm. And is your husband the sole income provider?
Okay, but what does the book say about them specifically?
Okay, what kind of work does he do?
It's complicated. You wouldn't understand.
Have you ever considered working outside the home?
I don't know why you always say that.
And why didn't you choose to pursue a career in medicine if you had such a strong interest?
Because you've done nothing at all with your life. Look at yourself. All you do is sit here all day, twiddling your thumb.
Was it your husband who discouraged you from working or someone else?
You have options and opportunities women haven't ever had before. And you're wasting them.
Your mother? And what were her reasons precisely?
Would you prefer that I wasn't here? If I'd gone away to college and left you, would you have appreciated that?
You're twisting my words.
And do you agree with her? Do you intend to encourage your own daughters to pursue an education? Or would you prefer your own daughter to pursue an education? Or would you prefer that she also become a housewife?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to make a point. Life isn't always so cut and dried. No, sure, I could have gone off to college, but if you had died and I had done nothing for you, would that really have been better for you or for me?
Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.
I'm not going to die.
Not right now, you're not. But what if I hadn't been here 10 minutes ago when you had your asthma attack?
You're changing the subject.
No, I'm not, Granny. You, of all people, should know you don't get everything you want out of life. You have to pick and choose. You chose a career, and that's great. You did great things, and I am proud of you. But that's not who I am. That's not what matters to me.
Nothing matters to you.
You do, goddammit. You matter to me. That's why I'm here. That's why I didn't go away to college, because I love you and you need me. What was I supposed to do? I had to make a choice, and I chose to do what I thought was truly important. Maybe that makes me a disappointment to you, and I'm sorry you feel that way, but it was the right choice for me.
Your mother was the same way. Wanted to stay home, go to a local college.
For God's sake, will you just shut up?
I'm very sorry I ruined your life.
You didn't ruin my life. I'm trying to tell you that. I'm just not into that kind of career-oriented lifestyle. I'm not dynamic and outgoing like you were. I just want to take care of my family.
Well, It's the most disappointing thing I've heard in my life.
I know. Are you feeling any better?
Oh, I feel terrible.
I mean, you're breathing. Are your lungs feeling better?
Oh, yeah, yes. I'm breathing just fine now.
Okay, good.
Bethany sits down and picks up a book. Granny lies back, staring into space, blackout. Scene 2. Granny's living room. Same couch, same table, same chairs, but clutter is gone. Ruth is sitting where Granny usually sits, and Ellsworth is in Bethany's chair. Ellsworth is reading the paper, and Ruth is glaring at him. He seems completely unaware. After a moment, Ruth breaks the silence.
Ellsworth,
Hmm?
whatever happened to that book?
What book?
You know, the one you were going to write. The one you used to talk about when we were in college, about race relations in America. You were very passionate about that book.
Oh, that. That was just theory. I don't need to mess about with theory anymore. Now I help people find jobs. It's rewarding work.
But Ellsworth, your work is so small scale. You could reach a lot more people if you wrote a book. You could make a large and lasting impact.
Ruth, I do my work. I help people find jobs. Isn't that enough? I don't need to go out crusading all the time. I'm perfectly comfortable with the size of the impact I make now.
This just isn't what I thought we'd be doing when we first met.
We were kids. We were in college. Everyone thinks you're going to change the world when they're in college.
Well, we were supposed to be different. We were going to do something real and worthwhile. I didn't spend 6 years of my life earning a PhD from Brown with 3 little girls at home just to sit and watch you read the paper all day every Sunday for the rest of my life.
No, you did it to impress your parents, but they're dead now. So where does that leave you?
Daddy was right about you. I should have listened to him.
Ruth, I know things didn't turn out the way you expected. I know I'm not the man you wanted me to be. You made that crystal clear. But this is who I am. I'm not an academic in an ivory tower, chasing after degrees and credentials so that the world will think I'm important.
Is that what you think of me? Do you think that I care? Sorry. Do you think that I care what, oh, that's a typo. That's the problem.
I didn't get that when I read it either.
Do you think, it's supposed to be something along the lines of, do you think I care what the world thinks of me?
I know you do. All this talk about writing a book, what good would that do? Who reads books about race relations in America other than people who already know about race relations in America? If I wrote some goddamn book, the only people that it would reach would be a bunch of stuffy scholars who would just pick it apart and say it wasn't good enough. It wouldn't help anybody. I'd much rather do what I do now. I'm in the trenches, Ruth, not an ivory tower looking down on the poems on the peons from a lofty height.
I'm sick of this, Ellsworth. Sick to death of it.
The hell is going on in here?
We're just fighting as usual.
My goodness. Why did we fight so much?
We like to fight.
No, I don't think I enjoyed it. I hated it.
Well, we didn't always fight like that. You were angrier than usual. I don't recall why.
You'd been with another woman.
Oh, well, yes, there was it. That was it.
Fine then. Show me something else. Show me an ordinary day.
Ellsworth, this letter came from the IRS. Something about back taxes is for you.
Oh, it's fine. I know about that.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
I'll take care of it.
You'll take care of it now.
All right, I will.
He snatches the letter from her hand and hurls it into the trash can.
There.
No, don't throw it away. We need to keep records in case
In case they what?
they do an audit.
Why would they do an audit? We're not millionaires, Ruth.
My father was audited in 3
Yes, your father was a millionaire. That's who gets audited. Oil barons, not social workers. Calm down, for goodness sake.
Oh, Ellsworth, I wish you would take money a little more seriously.
Well, I wish you'd take it a little less seriously. So I guess we're even.
We're not even. I am trying to be responsible, accumulate and roll it forward, and you're just burning it all down.
Ruth, for God's sake.
Stop it. Stop it. This is awful. Please show me one time, just one time when we didn't fight.
Ruth and Ellsworth look at each other nonplussed. After a pause, Ruth exits and Ellsworth sits again with his paper. After another brief pause, Ruth shouts from the off stage.
Mother, Ellsworth, girls, I'm home.
Well then, the scholar returneth. So, Mrs. Ogden, how does it feel to be an official PhD candidate at Brown University?
I can't even tell you how wonderful. Mother, are you upstairs? I'm home.
Wait, I'm coming down, darling. I want to hear all about your first day.
No, I can't. I can't live through this one again. Stop it.
What? Isn't it a good memory?
She died, you fool. Mother died. Those were her last words.
Mother's about to die?
She fell down the stairs. She never. I went to Brown. Went to get my PhD for her. Oh, Ellsworth, when you bought this house, did you know we would all die here?
But I wanted to tell her. I did it for her, to please her. She died? I didn't get to tell her not one word about my first day?
Can I have one purely good memory? One moment of my life I was entirely, unabashedly happy.
None of us getting any of those.
I was happy at our wedding, and when our daughters were born, and I was happy today, very happy.
Mother hadn't died.
But she did die.
There you are, Miss Valedictorian.
But
There, you remember that, don't you?
Vancouver.
That's right.
Oh, you did make me happy. I didn't know I'd never be that happy again.
Sitting right here, darling.
Oh, Ellsworth, honestly, don't pretend you were happy with me.
Well, it wasn't exactly a bed of roses.
Yes, darling? Mother. Oh, sorry, so mother. And then you say yes.
You and Daddy never fought like this. What did we do wrong?
What do you mean? Of course they fought.
We did not fight. We bickered a little.
You fought. I remember. Daddy screamed and yelled to shake the house down.
Well, your father had a temper, and
And you used the silent treatment.
only when I had to. I only did what I had to do.
Ruth, it's quite simple. I wasn't the man you wanted.
Yes, you were. Well, I did love you.
I know. And I loved you. I loved your fire. But maybe we weren't really right for each other.
Oh, I don't think that's true. You were married for 62 years. There must have been something there. People your age just divorced at the drop of a hat.
Well, that's not true. I only knew about 2 or 3 people who ever divorced.
Well, you certainly divorced more than anyone ever did before. I was 17 years old when I married your father, and I knew it was for life. It never even occurred to me that we could walk away. Could you have made a decision like that at that age?
I did make a decision like that at 17. That's when I decided not to marry the man I loved, to become a professor instead.
Well, I was very proud of you for that. I hope that you were proud of how proud I was. I hope that you know how proud I was.
Wait, that's not how it happened. I changed my mind. I was going to marry him. He was the one who didn't come back. He married someone else.
Really? I don't think so.
Well, what does it matter? Obviously, he wasn't right for you anyway. What kind of life would you have had with him? You would have been a housewife in Nebraska.
That's true. What good would that have done anyone? I was a college professor. Back east even.
In Connecticut. Just the sound of it sounds so refined.
Connecticut wasn't all it was cracked up to be. I thought people would be better here.
They are. They're liberal.
Well, yes, but they're cold. No passion. You don't know what it's like to come here and marry a Yankee man and raise a bunch of little Yankee girls. They should have stayed home.
Nonsense.
I'm not a Yankee.
Texans are more passionate, but they're passionate about the wrong things. They don't care about equality for the races or the sexes.
You always felt stifled in Texas. You wanted to live somewhere away and exciting.
Well, I don't anymore.
You keep it down. Everybody knows there's no such thing as a perfect place. That was always your problem, Ruth. You thought the answer to everything was to just leave. Find somewhere better. Find someone better. Well, now you're stuck. You're in Connecticut with your cute little granddaughter, and you're going to die there.
Daddy, how could you?
We're all stuck, darling.
Darn right, we're all stuck. I think I didn't have enough. You think I didn't have an urge to wander? You think I didn't want to fly away? Well, I had a family to provide for. I killed myself making you sure that you had a good start in life.
So did I.
That's right. We died for you, little blossom. So don't go telling us you never had a chance to bloom. You had every chance.
You had so much that I never had, an education, a career, the freedom to travel.
Husband and 3 healthy daughters. You lived to know all your grandchildren. I didn't get that.
Then why do I feel like I have nothing?
Yes. Why do I feel destitute?
Because you're old, sweetie.
He's right. You only really get 2 options in life, Ruth. Either you die young, in the height of your life, and never get to see your family grow up, or you die old, lonely and useless.
Ellsworth, you make it sound all so bleak.
It's a cruel, cruel world.
That's so melodramatic. Look, sweetheart, you don't have to be miserable about it all. Dying is difficult, but really, it isn't all that bad.
No, not at all.
That's easy for you to say. You had a heart attack.
And you fell down the stairs. You didn't even know you were dying until you were already dead. Look at me. I have to lie here and watch it inch up on me day by day. It's torture.
Oh, yes, I've been there. You're right, it isn't easy.
Yes. You're the only person in this room who knows what I'm talking about. It took you 5 years to die.
It took me 10 years to die. I was only in my 60s, remember?
Yes, I remember. I read your obituary. Margaret sent it to me. Was heartbroken.
Is that really how it happens? Did we really never see each other again, ever?
How could we? Our lives went in completely different direction.
But that's not how it's supposed to happen. I loved you so much. I always thought that, I don't know, maybe after Ellsworth died?
I was long gone by then, sweetie. Cancer's a bitch.
Buck, please don't be crass. I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing.
Who does?
Daddy did. He always knew exactly what to do.
Sweetie, you're 90 years old. How could you possibly be so naive?
I thought it would be different.
Sweetheart, you did a good job. You had a wonderful career. You held your marriage together and you had beautiful babies. Nobody does that better. Nobody.
We did have some beautiful babies
Yes, we did.
and beautiful grandbabies. Here comes one of them now.
Here, take this.
Yeah, you're fine. You stay there.
Good, I'll just make us some lunch now, okay?
Wow. Is that my granddaughter?
That's our granddaughter. Isn't she beautiful?
She's ours?
All ours.
Oh, Douglas, look at them. Are they really ours?
That's right, Beth Ann. All ours. And they are beautiful.
So beautiful.
I had some of my own, you know. Really ought to get back to them. See how they're doing. It was nice seeing you, Ruth.
Yes, nice to see you again. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Ruth.
She's a sweetheart, isn't she? Funny, I never really looked at her before. Huh. They two fit together a lot better than I remember.
Heavens, did we fight?
I guess it isn't ever easy.
Not with you, it wasn't.
No, I wasn't an easy person.
Neither was I.
It's never easy.
But it's beautiful.
It's just, I thought we would change the world, Ellsworth.
When Bethany enters holding a bowl, she puts it down on the table in front of Granny.
Oh, shoot, I forgot your spoon. Be right back.
Didn't we?
She didn't amount to much.
Bethany enters again with a spoon.
Neither did I. I was just a mother.
All right, I own a few businesses. Big deal.
I certainly didn't either. I guess I helped a few people find work who wouldn't have otherwise, but now they're all probably dead.
And what did I do, really? Taught a few classes, wrote a few papers. We watch as Bethany feeds Granny some soup.
My great granddaughter.
Oh, sweetheart, look at her. She's gonna die old. She's gonna die someday, old and lonely, if she's lucky. Why can't you just love her?
Of course I do.
What?
I said, of course I do. What kind of woman doesn't love her own granddaughter? You make it sound like loving somebody and having expectations of that person are mutually exclusive.
Granny, I'm sorry, but I didn't say anything.
You have to show her love, darling. You have to make sure that she knows it, that she knows how you feel about her before.
Before it's too late.
Look at yourself, Ruth. You could go any minute. Just tell her, won't you?
All right, fine.
Granny, are you okay? Should I take you to the hospital?
I love you, Bethany. You know that, don't you?
Well, I guess.
Well, I do. I love you.
I love you too, Granny.
Oh, good. That's done.
So, hospital?
No hospital, for heaven's sake. I'm fine. I love you. I'm fine. I want my soup. Or is that too much trouble?
No trouble at all.
That's it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
It was really helpful for me to see it kind of on its feet.
Take any comments from people?
Yeah, if anyone has anything, that's.
Yeah, how do you want to do the talk back? Are there people in the physical audience, and then you can hear from us, or what?
Sure, yeah.
Or do you want to or would you rather, keep everybody close, I was going to say, and you want to hear from the cast and the people in the physical world first, and then from us?
Sure. I mean, if anyone feels like they have something to say, certainly. Hold on.
Well, I remember Emily told me that you suggested that she change the ending a little bit, and I thought that.
Add something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I told Emily, and I apologize for speaking, but
A little louder, Helen?
oh, sorry. In the beginning of the play, Granny is extremely disdainful of Bethany's writing apparently fiction. It's quite cruel things. In fact, she's really a little hard on Bethany all around. But I thought at the end, during the phase of reconciliation, I thought it would be good if Granny asked to read what Bethany is writing.
Mm.
And possibly throw in some more of Emily's excellent humor there, but, you know. But
I think it's a great suggestion. I think
I do like that suggestion. Yeah, it never occurred to me. I think I tend to struggle with endings. Honestly, I think I tend to end things kind of too abruptly because I'm scared of overstaying my welcome. But so
No, I actually thought it was pretty good, that they did the mushy stuff. They
yeah,
really went into the mushy stuff, and then she's back to her old self, you know, I want my soup. You know,
yep, yeah.
so.
And then maybe right after that, you could throw out there, and by the way, look at something you've been writing or something.
Right, I mean,
But
it
it would be
can,
more clever than that.
it's got Emily on it.
Right, right.
But I'm not sure how, I just thought, that the one unresolved thing, everything else gets tied up very, very neatly.
Yeah, you're right, because that would show that she truly thinks that Bethany is truly a valuable person. and that
Right.
she's Learning.
But I wouldn't, also, she's not gonna read it in, you know, scene 2 and then
Yeah.
go, wow, that was the best
Yeah.
fiction I've ever read. I don't think it would go that way, but I think, yeah, I just think open that door just a tad.
Yeah, because it shows that even at the end of her life, she's still learning.
Well, also, she's also said twice in 2 different conversations, I was wrong, I wasted my life. So some of her judgment, she may be acknowledging, may not have been quite as true as they felt at the time.
yeah, good point.
But I think overall, Emily's done such an incredible job. That last scene makes me cry.
That
Beautiful.
you wouldn't understand one more time.
Well, neither would you,
You
Ellsworth.
wouldn't understand.
Neither would you, Ellsworth. Never wrote that damn book. So somebody else wrote it later.
Thinking 2 years.
That or you're she's imagining.
So thank God somebody.
Yeah.
Well, do nothing.
So I was going to ask, speaking of the book, when earlier she said that she read a book about race relations in America, maybe I wasn't hearing the whole thing. Did the book or exist or did it not?
It
Never
just-
find out.
His version never
That
existed.
possibility too, that she was only imagining she was reading the book. I mean, honestly, when I wrote it, it was more she was reading a book. But I mean, I kind of like the fact that it's like up in the air because so much of the play is up in the air. Like how much is what really happened, how much isn't, how much is really happening right now, and how much
Right.
is just in her imagination. Yeah.
It could have been the book she read 50 years ago.
I mean, even the scene with the painting, was she really painting or was she?
No,
No,
that-
and there's no point where there's a reference to her ever being artistic.
Right,
So I think she's daydreaming and
right.
paper around it, like
Her mind is just
Wondered.
wandering.
and it's apparently a portrait of Ellsworth, and it's all that green. It's beautiful. I did not know I married a leprechaun.
The irony is green is my favorite color.
Yeah. I do.
Green is the color of money, or at least it used to be.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's
The color of life.
but yes, most things are green that are living, you know, like when you think about
I
all.
thought I watched.
But you could have her hold the book.
I could, although in a way, I kind of like the ambiguity of it.
But
Yeah.
that-
Yeah. I did consider it ambiguous when I wrote it, but I now enjoying the idea that it's an added layer.
Now think of this,
All in the
maybe,
same way.
maybe, Bethany wrote a book and that's the book she's reading. And she comments.
Oh,
She thinks it's true, but it's not.
Huh.
Well, that would be obvious to Bethany.
well, yeah, but I don't,
There are more comments from the people in the real room.
That's one in scene 6, I believe, when you had 2011 and 1939 or so,
Yeah,
and the discussions are going back and forth. I almost want to see a little more parallelism where one thing would be stated at one time and then answered in the other. I was
Yeah.
looking for.
That's very
I-
confusing.
I felt like
I have
that.
the same feeling about that.
I enjoyed that a lot when you see that the life really hasn't, the dynamics are still there that many years later.
Right, there was that-
60 years
yeah,
later or so.
play.
But, yeah, where someone brings up one issue and it's almost being answered in the
Yeah.
modern.
Yes,
time.
the first-
Problems being
It's the
addressed.
first scene where
back and forth.
characters aren't connected, that
Right.
this set is connected and this set is connected.
Or
I
the
think that's very
relationship,
effective, though. I
There's an analog with the relationship of the two.
Exactly.
Even though it's the granddaughter and the grandmother, still that
Right.
relationship might have existed with someone else.
Did you-
Very clever.
Did you see the media? I think they.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, I know Emily was in that, but it was like that, they were like different centuries, but it was really tied together well.
Dialogue is intertwined.
Right, and it worked.
That was just as a.
This is really, honestly, I think scene 4, the one you brought up, is kind of the one I find trickiest personally. Like in some ways you would think the later scenes where like time has basically collapsed and people are just talking to each other regardless of what time period they're from, is actually less confusing, I think, and less difficult to stage.
Yeah, the last.
Yeah.
I like that last collage,
Yeah.
everybody, this is your life, I wrote it down. But then it gets off, but that's what it is. And
Yeah.
it reminded me a little bit of Pippin too, when you get to the end, you're expecting the big explosion of some revelation, and it's life, this is life, and accept where you are in life, and
I think
that's one of my favorite plays, just because of the message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It
I couldn't
reminds,
hum a tune from it.
well, it reminds me of our town too.
It reminded me a lot of our town at the end.
Yeah.
Going through it this time, hearing the voices. Yeah.
What, Helen? I can't hear you. Helen?
That,
What did you say?
going through that scene this time on stage, I heard it differently, and I thought it's been referenced that Granny's dying, and you know how there's the trope that when you're dying, you see ahead and backwards. So you approach a heaven full of people you have known and loved. And I kind of thought it felt like that, that she's in this room because she's still alive, but she's approaching whatever the gate or doorway or tunnel is that takes you out of this world. And it was interesting, all the people from her past are in many ways way more welcoming than they ever were in her vivid life. And so that image really stuck with me this time through.
Yeah, whoever said our town, that's exactly what I was thinking of, especially with our Emily being right at the center of it.
I love that.
Darcy, do you have?
Yes, no, I loved it. I've been texting Emily. But
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah, no, I don't know. Having known the source of inspiration, I thought you did a great job. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was just really truthful. I thought it was a really wonderful piece.
So, staging that last scene, though, is difficult. I think that probably people have talked about lighting and needing to have lighting up and down on different parts of the stage, right? Did you talk about that before?
You just have to,
I could see it easily being done. I didn't see the staging.
You volunteers.
So, yes. Lighting would be important, but I mean, it's not really advanced lighting.
it's very important, isn't it?
It's highly focused lighting, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's doable.
I think at this point we need better directional lighting than we have at NAC. I mean, it's got to be able to illuminate, really well different parts of the stage and in different different configurations.
But Roy Bork could figure something out.
What, Jim?
I said Roy Bork could figure something out.
maybe. Yeah, if we got some more instruments, yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Which we could. Hey, we've got $500,000. If we need instruments, we'll buy instruments.
Money away already? Hey, we fixed the roof.
That's only $55,000.
Hope it's enough.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, there was a little squall of snow and rain. Did you get any leaks?
No,
We haven't seen anything.
I heard it raining.
Hey, great.
Get any. I did
So
not-
that's two great things. We have a great Zoom connection and no leaks. It's a good omen.
Thank you very much for the Zoom link, Faye.
Yeah.
And for all the help arranging this.
Hi, Darcy.
Well,
Hi, Darcy.
guys.
Thank you.
Hi,
so
everybody. You sounded fantastic. I could hear it really well. So if you do this again in the future, it's working. So
much. Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think this could work at NAC. I think you've got enough stage room to do it. You don't need a bigger stage.
Yep.
Yeah. As I said, with better lighting and with a good lighting design.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Maybe we'll try to give it a shot at some point.
Well,
congratulations, Emily. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Please go back down.
Bye, guys.
okay. Bye. I'm going to end the meeting.
Wait, let me stop the recording.
Sorry.
Right. Stop recording.
You didn't hate it.
Bye.
Okay.